A 4th of July weekend coming to a tragic end at Lake Allatoona. Officials say that they're searching for a man that went missing and went underwater, never resurfacing.
Atlanta News First reporter Alani Latang is live for us at the lake right now. Alani, what's the latest from officials out there?
Yeah, officials now spending several hours now searching for this man. They say they'll continue into the night. A devastating end to the July 4th holiday weekend in Metro Atlanta. The Department of Natural Resources says just before 1 p.m. Sunday, game wardens along with Bartow County Fire Rescue responded to a possible drowning on Lake Allatoona near Glade Marina. They say a 27-year-old man exited the back of a ski boat, went underwater, and didn't resurface. Officials searched immediately with sonar boats. More personnel and equipment have been brought in, with the search continuing into the night. Boaters and swimmers should keep safety tips in mind. Georgia law requires children younger than 13 to wear a U.S. Guard-approved life jacket while aboard a moving boat, unless they are inside a fully enclosed cabin. Boaters are required to have life jackets for everyone on board. Wildlife officials say to designate a sober operator, obey no-wake zones, plus stay aware of changing conditions. The Allatoona Landing Marine Resort also has tips on their website for a person overboard. They suggest reducing the speed of the boat, throwing a flotation device to the person, and designate a passenger on board to keep an eye on the person overboard. Additionally, they advise people engaging in tow sports to wear a life jacket. There should be a spotter watching the person engaging in the sport. Lastly, the driver must pay attention to where they're driving. The officials have not released the man's identity yet. Reporting live in Lake Allatoona, I'm Alani Latang, Atlanta News First.